So I have another book I'd like to introduce to you today, one that's been helpful to me in its earliest stages as a PDF prior publication, and then more recently as a book that's been published now by Baker Books. The book is entitled Win at Work and Succeed at Life, and it's written jointly by Michael Hyatt and his daughter, Megan Hyatt Miller. The subtitle of the book is 5 Principles to Free Yourself from the Cult of Overwork. Obviously a little provocative, the cult of overwork. I do think it's a big problem in our culture today. And I know that I've experienced a problem with this kind of being the adrenal rush of work, 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 work. And there's a bit of an addictive nature, addicted to success possibly, and trying to achieve success around our careers. Well, the Hyatts say you don't have to choose between your career and your personal life. Obviously, the subtitle of the book says we can succeed at both. They call it a double win. And they start the book out with Michael telling the story about coming home from work one day. He just received a huge bonus from his boss for success in the workplace, and he wanted to share his success with his wife. However, she had another conversation that she needed to have. And in the first chapter of the book, Michael describes some of the conversation that they had. And this is what she says to Michael. "You know, Michael, I love you. I'm so proud of you. I appreciate all that you're doing to support this family. But I got to be honest, you're never home. Your 5 daughters need you. Even when you are home, you're not really here. You're somewhere else. Honestly, I feel like a single mom." And I've heard those kinds of comments from the spouses of entrepreneurs multiple times in my coaching work. And I think I've been there in my own marriage. So kind of recovering from that absorption with work and ministry combination that I was in for many years. And we often believe that we can't do both. We can't be successful in life and successful in business. And we sacrifice the most important things to us in order to achieve success physically in our career, in our business, in our vocation. And the relationships that are most significant to us, that with our spouse, with our children, our family, are often neglected and really are hurtful in those sorts of ways. So this book provides a framework to begin to address that cult of overwork that we might be experiencing. And it provides a framework around a couple of things. Acknowledging we have multifaceted lives and then working to bring that into a balanced order. And then also the freedom of limits, placing specifically limits around our time, our calendar, our schedule, and the scope of our priorities. And constraining our workday and maximizing our work when we are working so that we can truly rest and spend time with our family and spouses. Notes the promise of balance, schedule what matters, and then a profitable pause. And he notes there's incredible power in non-achievement, one of the principles that he points out here in this book and teaches quite well. We actually have to have downtime. And the more our work is geared toward thinking and leadership around thinking well, thinking clearly, we have to have rested minds to be able to do our best work in those spaces. And so it's important to have hobbies or the opportunity to play, things that refresh, reset, and kind of reignite our imagination. And then finally, rethinking sleep. Sleep is really the foundation of productive and meaningful work. And if we don't take adequate time to sleep and rest so that we have this mental refresh and we're physically refreshed, emotionally refreshed through good sleep to go back to work, we just start working in this space of a deep fog where our effectiveness continues to decline. And so he guides us in these conversations in achieving both personal and professional goals, and holding both of those together as very, very important. I'm going to read you just a couple of quotes. Overwork seems a constant temptation for many of us today. I would have to acknowledge that myself, and especially in the past, and working at trying to trim that back. But we also need to find time and actually schedule time for non-productive work, rest, refreshing, resetting sorts of activities. Another very important quote that I've found helpful. We need a rhythm of work and rest to be our best at work and at home. So we need some type of white space where there's not just the noise of busyness and clutter and exhaustion, but a time of rest and quietness to kind of provide that mental and emotional reset. One of the big quotes here in the book: intentionally carve out time away from work to noodle on problems. And I like that term, to think, to puzzle, and to dream. And he notes how that really does impact our effectiveness when we go back to work again. We have to take those times for the white space if we're going to have the double win, winning at work and winning at life. He describes multiple tools that we can use to be very intentional about the choices we make, intentional and disciplined in the habits that we acquire and develop to create a balanced and fulfilling life. Again, if you're at all concerned about work-life balance or getting in a good rhythm of work and life, I highly recommend this book to you, Win at Work and Succeed at Life, by Michael Hyatt and his daughter, Megan Hyatt Miller.